If 2025 nearly broke you, listen carefully, because it wasn't punishment, it was completion. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, your personal empowerment channel. My name is Doris Victoria, your soul empowerment coach. And as promised, I'm going to talk about this year's energy because it was the year of completion. 2025 adds up to 9, which is kind of like, I see it like a pregnant woman, like this big belly, but it can also be seen as wisdom, a lot of wisdom accumulated in that belly that will soon then give birth to something new. And that something new, dear ones, is going to be 2026, number 1. 2026 adds up to 10, which leaves us with a 1 year, and 1 is the number of new beginnings. So the last year has been really, really challenging for many of us. And maybe you have been asking your questions. Maybe you have been asking yourself questions. What is this all about? Is it burnout or is it ascension? What does ascension even feel like? What am I supposed to do in this messy, chaotic kind of like world that I am in? We might have been also confronted with very, very intriguing, or let's say, how can I name it? Really disappointing changes in politics and things like that. But remember that this is just the darkness screaming loud for its survival. Here's what happens, dear ones. We are in this amazing shift of consciousness here on Earth. I said in the last videos that the last family of love and light, our last brothers and sisters who went through this same phase, are the Pleiadians. And now the Earth has its turn, going from 3D, 4D into 5D. And 5D, ascension is not necessarily leaving our physical bodies. Ascension is a new level of consciousness that we are just adding to the ones that already exist. So, and that 5D dimension is all about a new awareness. I shared with you in my shorts that awakening is not just thought, consciousness is not just thought. It's the awareness behind your thought. So many of you, as you were confronted with challenging situations, maybe for me personally, this year has brought a lot of breakups with the people that I loved, partly because of me, partly because of them. Because what happened is we were just no longer a vibrational match anymore. And maybe you have been facing similar things. Maybe you have been seeing changes in your abundance or in your income, in the way you have been treated or you treat others. Maybe you became aware about relationships with people that you knew or thought you knew, but now you're seeing them from a different light. So all this, dear ones, is part of this beautiful 9 energy that was going on this year. This energy of completion of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. As I was talking about this big shift that we're in right now, this big shift will still go on for the next 5 years. However, the energy of light, the energy of new beginnings that we're moving into this coming year is going to bring a lot of awarenesses. So what you might have also been watching or observing is how as more light is coming onto the planet, it shows more darkness. Not only in governments, not only in what we would call religious systems, authority, old authority systems here on Earth. All these dirty, ugly things were coming to the surface because the new light, that amazing light that is coming into Earth, is of course shining the beam right upon these dirty, ugly things. But instead of this being kind of like a doom energy, it will awaken even more people. And the result of this awakening is going to be amazing, dear ones, because it's going to be integrity, it's going to be more love, more compassion instead of reacting. And I believe, I always said hope is the last thing that dies. I always believed that we will even see it in governments. We will see it in all places in our lives. So as more light came into the planet, metaphorically, through solar flares, awakening people, truths being spoken out loud, as more light was coming onto the planet, all these dirty, ugly things that have been part of this earth for a long time are now coming to the surface. And we can see that not only in our environment, in our outer environment, but also in our inner being. Lots of our own shadows, me included, lots of our own shadows have been lit up this year with a lot of light, but also a new awareness, a more conscious and aware awareness maybe. So I believe that as much as we were challenged to heal these, how can I say, these old parts of us, these old shadows that have long been there and they have been holding you as a light worker down, those shadows are also being shown in the world around us. But as I say, not to worry. This is not meant that this earth is doomed, or that you are doomed, or that our lives are doomed. This is, I believe, the battle that has long been predicted by very, very wise voices here on earth, including the voice of our ancestors, that have been predicted what is coming, this ascension period with the rainbow people coming to earth and all the races and colors reuniting as one family. So what we are seeing, dear ones, is a beautiful and hopeful thing, because as this light is being shown onto everything and people are at the same time waking up, more compassion will be shown. We will see on this planet more love, more reunification, compassion, truth being spoken, people awakening, and the end of war, hopefully as well, very, very soon. I believe that the more people are awakening, the more they remember that our true nature is love. It is not war, it is not division, it is not separation. This is an old energy that is dying, and it has, as I said, been screaming loud. It's kind of like in its last gasp right now, trying to survive, but the light has already won. Consciousness has already won over the old energies. You can a little bit see it like a warehouse, you know? The warehouse has been dark and suddenly someone switches on the light and now you see all the dirt in the corners that has been, you know, stacked up for ages, for millennia even. So this is all going to come to the surface, and of course it is being shown in the world around us, in governments, in systems. But as I said, I believe that this is a good thing, because it is helping people to wake up even more, to make their own decision about how they want to continue. And I believe that the way humanity is going to continue is with peace, as a big family, reunited with each other. Remember that beautiful phrase, divided we fall, united we stand. And that is what the light and the new ascension awareness is all about. As I said, the shift is going to continue all the way until 2030. And next year, the year of new beginnings, you can kind of like see it, you know, after a war, there's lots of ruins and spaces need to be cleansed up, and then new construction will be done, you know, houses will be built for the surviving people so that they can start a new life. And I believe that this is what we are going into right now. The energy of this new year of new beginnings feels very much like coming into this new consciousness and then building a new world, not based on old paradigms, but a new world based on new paradigms, love, compassion, awareness. This is going to be the energy that we're going to see. And you know that part of my messages are always channeled. So as we are moving from the last day of the old year, the last day of 2025, today is the 31st of December. Some cultures, some people maybe down in the southern hemispheres have already started the new year. We here, I'm in Central Europe right now, are waiting. Still, for us, it is afternoon. So let me just tune in to see if there's anything else that wants to come. Yes, so the new race that we're going to see is, as I have already mentioned, people will become more multidimensionality. Oh, okay, there's something strong that wants to come in. How do you know that you are ascending? What would be the symptoms? Well, you would become more aware of things. You would suddenly see things from a different perspective. Things that you have been believing in or that you kind of like were on the fence about will now become clear to you. There's going to be more awareness. There's also going to be kind of like in one of my favorite movies, the movie is called Arrival. The woman has this multidimensional experience, like she's seeing the past, but she's very clearly also seeing the future. And it's like, it's not necessarily what she is seeing. It's like she's already living that future part of herself. So we are going to become more multidimensional, meaning that the linearity that we have been kind of like pulled down here on this dense and heavy earth is going to also lift its veil. And there's going to be more awareness, more multidimensionality. We will become aware of other dimensions, of beings of other dimensions. You can already see that in animals or children. You know, I had a cat the other day, and the cat, I've never seen that cat before, and it was the first time that it saw me. And the cat looked at me kind of like, it looked around me like it was reading my aura. And I was so curious. I was like, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Tell me. It was very, very interesting. So multidimensionality is a big sign of ascension. The most clear sign that you can trust that you're ascending into this new fifth dimension with the light that is coming into earth, but also out of human consciousness, out of Gaia, out of our ancestors, out of everything. Every flower, every tree is, it's kind of like it's an ambassador of this new world energy, this 5-dimensional energy. So what is going to become really clear is your intuition. And to an extent that you are no longer going to doubt your intuition, but you are going to trust it because it is so clear. You just know. So listen to your inner self. Listen to your belly more than you have been listening to your head. Remember, the head is made to be our servant here on earth. The heart is the organ that was made, or the consciousness, let's say it that way, the heart is the consciousness that was made to be our master. This is something we're going to see strongly. People going more into their hearts, getting out of their head, using the head to create this new world that, you know, how can I say, embraces life for everything. It's like not the strongest will survive anymore. This is like really an old and wrong energy for humanity that has never been true. It might be true for Earth and for the animals and for the trees and the plants on Earth, but it has never been true for human beings, which is even scientifically proven now. And still, Darwin is being taught in schools. But that's what I'm saying, dear ones. This old energy is going to die hard. We have seen a really, really strong battle last year, and it's not meant that it's over, but we're going to see things with a new awareness. And keep your eyes open for the beauty and the miracles that we will also see. Because no consciousness is, how can I say, there's this little fly flying around me. It's like she has a message. No consciousness is being exempt from this new energy coming to earth. Everyone is going to profit from it. Everyone is going to be penetrated, massaged into love, back into love and joy by this new energy. All right, is there anything else that you want me to give as a news to my viewers? Okay, for now we're complete. Have a beautiful, it was funny when I said complete, it was 1551. Beautiful, have a beautiful beginning of the new year. Wash away the old, have faith, have trust into the new that is coming, and that it will be part of your life as well. And even though last year has been hard, it was the year of completion. As I said, the 9, and now everything is shifting into a new energy. And as I said, it doesn't mean that the battle is over. It's going to continue, but the way we're seeing it and the way we're reacting to it is going to be different. People are going to be more aware. You know, leaders are going to be younger, because younger people, they know what's going on. They have this new awareness, this new consciousness. And look into the world, you know, the leaders have all been old. They have been kind of like conditioned with this old energy. So there's lots of beautiful changes that are awaiting us, dear one. Be hopeful. I hope this message helped you to start your new year with peace, happiness, compassion with yourself and the world, and more awareness, and maybe even a sharpened intuition. Have an amazingly beautiful, happy new year, and I'm going to be here on your side in the new year, of course, as well. Lots of love, and I'll see you in the next video.